You know what? That is also really fascinating that we just learned that there is only one other orrery, and it's present in Stros Mackay. Right? Obviously, there's old Dwemer ones. You know, there's old Dwemer ones and stuff like that. But as far as ones that we know of, there's one in Hammerfell, in Stros Mackay. Irlav Jarol. Hello?
A pleasure to speak with you.
Why does he look kind of like Swen? When we had last left the hero of Kvatch, they finally got their final Mages Guild recommendation. Oh my gosh. Did I just break this? No, it's just a little loose. They finally got their last Mages Guild recommendation by way of finding a couple pranksters and what they were up to at the Bruma Mages Guild. And with all of that out of the way, it was time to finally proceed to none other than the Arcane University in the Imperial City.
There were some goblins around here recently.
Is the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion
I hope never to see another.
Remastered.
Safe travels.
Welcome back. Zoop, zoop. There we are. Now, also, in between videos, as I had said, I went and did a whole bunch of alchemy work, right? Let's see here. As you can see, I've done a decent chunk of crafting. We've got some new stuff in our slew of potions. We have now 51,000 gold from just that, from just all the ingredients that you saw and the other extra vineyard right over the hill, which I think is actually the Cyrodiil brothers vineyard. All of that was able to get us this much money, right? Pretty amazing. This is, you know, this is always the case. Alchemy is just ridiculously powerful in these games, and Oblivion is really no exception. We've got a good chunk of reflect damage potions if we need them, even some on these restore fatigues here, which are only 0.1 in encumbrance. We've got a stack of 1 hundo here, which I'm gonna be real with you, originally was 700 plus. Restore health, restore magicka. I didn't sell off any of my restore health and magicka because they're a little bit more rare. For this, however, let me make sure I do have this bound to 5. There we go. And let me put this, put a 2 on here as well. There we go. That'll do. Okay. And I guess if you really want to check,
It's my pleasure.
all the stuff that I sold should still be in her inventory here, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, made like burden stuff, chameleon, damage like various attributes, various resistances. Yeah, 690 restore fatigues, custom made, sold off, right? My God, I figured why not sell a whole bunch off, because we can always come back for more grapes. A wise man once asked, got any grapes? And the answer is yes. We always do. You like that? Also a bunch of damage fatigue, right? I feel like it's a little unnecessary at this point. I even bought a few ingredients, I think, off of Aura Linway. I think she had like some carrots, like 7 or so carrots, and I used those in conjunction with a bunch that we gathered from the farm, right? Okay.
Good day.
But yeah, pretty amazing stuff. Just a shitload of money now. We just have a shitload of money. All right. Let's head on out. Now, also, before we go to the Arcane University, we do have a few orders of business. Now, in between videos, of course, it was a Tuesday, and if you play a decent chunk of games on PC, on computer, you will know that Tuesdays are when updates come out, right? When drivers get updated, and that's usually because most games launch on Tuesdays. That said, a decent chunk of like Japanese games will also launch on Friday, right? But still, nonetheless, the industry kind of keeps the standard that like Tuesday is your day of maintenance, your day of sending out updates and all of that, and that was no different for, you know, recent games have come out. Doom Eternal, or not Doom Eternal, the Dark Ages or whatever is in early access period. Thus, there was a driver update. Now, thankfully, a gentle viewer by the name of, here, let me make sure I got this. Let's see here. Will Run for Fun wrote in letting me know that, in fact, Oblivion Remastered has no proper shader cache rebuilding process. So whenever you update the game, or update your drivers specifically, you will get just a ton more stuttering everywhere. And that is owed to the fact that you are having to, while you're playing, rebuild those shaders live, right? We're all familiar with, even if you play on console, a whole bunch of games having moments at the beginning when you're booting up the game, and Oblivion Remastered is no different, where there's like this several minute long process of it compiling shaders and all of that. What you have to do is either rename, or what I did, once again, thank you to this general viewer for letting me know, like, very easily where to find all this stuff. Your save_settings.sav file, and you either rename it, or what I did, like I said, I cut and pasted it into a separate folder. And then you boot up the game, and then it notices, oh, you don't have that, thus it goes to rebuild it, and in the process, I guess, of seeing that you don't have that, it decides, oh, I also need to rebuild the shader cache. And that'll have you go through, like, all the normal stuff when you start the game, like, oh, choose your audio settings, calibrate brightness, all that stuff. And I just went through with it, loaded up the game, and then everything seemed fine, backed out of the game, got rid of the new one, deleted the new one that got put in the folders, and then cut and pasted my old one back in. And now, we're back to all my old settings, and
Anytime now.
Game is smooth as it ought to be, right? Now, just as well, before I forget, I've got my handy-dandy notebook here. Gentle viewer Low Lit Light 3438 wrote in saying that the one thing I did forget at the Bruma Mages Guild is the Wolf Queen Volume 3, which apparently that's the only place in the entire game you can get it. And you know what? Speaking of, I think I remember losing it originally in the original playthrough and having to utilize console commands to spawn it in. So before we forget, let us immediately go and get that, right? Let us immediately go and get that. There we are. Actually, I guess we probably should have done some heavy armor training or whatnot while we just so happen to be in the Imperial City during like an ideal time of day. Well, I guess we can go back. Let's see, up and over here. Good, good, good. As we're getting our speed up in athletics, the game is definitely starting to feel like floaty in that sort of old Oblivion way. You know what I'm talking about? How movement is a little, like, you kind of float around a bit. You're not as locked down to the world as it feels in Skyrim or Morrowind, right? Okay. Head on over here. I'm very curious as to, like, what extent and how it will feel. You know, it's one thing to see it, but it's another thing to, like, sort of play the game yourself and get that more tactile feel for it, right? At least that's how I feel. Maybe there's other folks who, they're, like, interfacing functions differently. Okay, so there should be a desk here. Is this it? No. I can't quite remember where, though. Is this it? Fundaments of Alchemy? Nope. I wouldn't call that a desk. Let's see. Maybe it's on the lower levels, right? We'll head on down here. Now also, I looked up information on scaling, and folks as well similarly wrote
much better
in
control of her faculties now that Kalthar's plot has been exposed. Ah, have you heard about Kvatch? They say that Daedra came from Oblivion and burned the whole city to the ground. Oh no.
Oh no.
Many Argonians say they have been called back to Black Marsh. They disappear into the swamps and are never seen again.
The land of the Argonians is a strange place indeed.
Bye.
The land of the Argonians. Here we go. There we are. A Woken Jarth book, no less. Okay. I think we're good now. Let's head on back out. Now, I did, like I said, I went and checked the level scaling stuff for the Spelldrinker Amulet. And like I mentioned, folks also wrote in letting me know that level scaling on items and all of that caps out at 30. Right? Once you've reached level 30, there's nothing else. You'll always get the maximum quality of items, right? Whenever you get a reward, it will be capped out. So you don't have to worry at that point. I think there's ones that cap out sooner than that, but 30 is sort of like the end-all be-all, like you don't have to worry about anything ever again, right? I think that's the case. But nonetheless, yeah, same is true for the Spelldrinker Amulet, which does cap out at 30. So probably before we get too far along in the Mages Guild, we should tend to that, right? Anyhow, while it's on the mind, let's head on back to the Market District and get another slew of heavy armor training just to make sure our heavy armor is sufficiently high. Okay. We'll go over here and let's see. Over this way. There we are. Well, nope, that ain't it. It is, yeah, the best defense. And then let's go for 12 hours. Good. Let's see. Did I make any other notes here of import while we're just waiting? No, I think we're good. I think we're A-okay. Let me flip to my reading page of my notebook, though. Wonderful. Now I'm thinking, what we do, we go get access to the Arcane University. Right? We do that. But we don't pick up the next quest just yet. We'll just go in, we'll take a look around, we'll take a little bit of a tour of the place, but we won't begin the next quest until we are level 30. And in the meanwhile, we can boot up part of the, or maybe the entirety of, the, what do you call it, quest arc? The Knights of the Nine. That might be something we should do, or at the very least, we'll begin the initial parts of it. Okay.
A pleasure to speak with you.
Varnado. Let's see here. Let's get some training.
Power.
We may as well do as much. Look, we're filthy rich. Wonderful. Now heavy armor is once again our highest.
Take care.
Armor skill, I think. Right? Okay. Oh, I'm looking in the wrong area. My bad. Yeah, 66, and our light armor should be like, what, 61? Oh, 63. It's a little close. It's a little close. Maybe we'll come back and do another round of training, right? Once we visit the university. Now, I have seen some folks across the internet, like on Blue Sky. I think I've seen like a Reddit post or so of people talking about why you should even care about your spell efficiency, right? Now, people who are very used to playing Oblivion, right, will absolutely know why you might want that. But for a lot of folks, they may see, well, once you get your stats up high enough, you'll be sitting at capped out 95% spell effectiveness. What's 5% more? You know, if I shoot a fireball that deals like 100 points of damage over 3 seconds or over 4 seconds, for missing out on 4 points of fire damage ain't gonna hurt me, right? It's not gonna break the bank. And true enough, that is the case. It won't break the bank in most cases. That's probably overkill, right? Or something that can't be solved by just casting a second fireball. The big point of contention, though, is when you run with other spells, right? If you want to be like a pure caster and have stuff going on, like for instance, a lot of illusion magic, right? Maybe they changed how it works in the remaster. That might be true, but I would hazard a guess, because we haven't seen it yet. I would hazard a guess that they haven't changed it. When you get illusion spells, I guess we might be able to check here really soon. But when you have illusion spells, like for instance, if you're fighting a whole bunch of dudes and you just want to throw frenzy into the middle of them, right? A few will start fighting one another rather than you, right? That is super helpful to even the odds, right? You're fighting only enemies, just throw in a big AoE frenzy spell, and then a few start helping you out. Helps massively, especially on high difficulty. The issue is, enemy levels are also scaling upward, right? And illusion spells and spells like that, like I said, maybe this isn't how it works in the remaster, but it used to be that they capped out at, I think, level 30 or so, right? And true enough, there are even enemies in the game that are above level 30. However, thankfully, Bethesda thought about this, right? And this is why that extra 5% is important if you're wanting to play that specific type of caster character. What you would do is... Oh, hang on, let me check and make sure we're going the correct direction here. Okay. Let's see, I'll go over here. What you would do is... you would have a maximum magnitude maxed out spell, right? So if it caps out at 30, you would have your frenzy spell set to 30. The magnitude set to 30, and however much duration you think is necessary to like get enemies fighting one another. And so long as it's set to its correct maximum, you will be totally fine against any enemy. It will always work. However, it needs to be at that maximum, and you need 100% spell effectiveness. That missing 5% is going to make or break you, right? Thus, if you are playing that sort of mage character or someone who at the very least wants to use that type of spell, it is kind of useful to have capped out 100% spell effectiveness. That way you can still use these, frankly, pretty powerful spell effects, right? Frenzy on high difficulty is exceptionally useful, as we have seen. Let's head on over here. Oh my gosh, the Arboretum. Were they like double speaking? Or was it just the weird audio modulation that's present now? I think it was just weird audio modulation. Alrighty. Let's head on out over here. Ooh, got quiet. Is game gonna crash? Oh my gosh. Okay. I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. Right? This happened before and it ended up being fine. That said, did it also happen before and ended up not being fine? Oh, there we go.
What is it, citizen?
There we go. We were just loading. Was that him? Was that Hieronymus right there? That may have been him. I didn't get to see in time. Alright. The Arcane University on, frankly, a very foggy day. Right. Foggy morning. Let's head on over. Shockingly, there's no one out here standing guard. Not just yet, at least. We'll travel in here. Run faster with your weapon sheathed. They still have the nice purple fire. And it shouldn't hurt me, right? In the old times, this fire, yeah. Wow, okay.
What is
Hello?
it, citizen?
Imperial Legion Battle Mage? What's going on?
11 of the morning watch and all's well. Good day, sir.
Oh, wow, unique dialogue for the time of day? Tell me about the university.
The Arcane University is the greatest repository of knowledge in all of Cyrodiil. The privilege of admission is a goal every mage strives for.
Okay. How about a rumor?
The Kvatch Oblivion Gate has been closed. Don't you understand what that means? We can beat the bastards!
Right, okay.
Go ahead.
Can I or should I persuade you? I guess I may as well. He likes jokes and boasting.
Gracious, is that so? Good one. Don't talk such rot. What? Not gracious. Oh, yeah, I get it. Don't such advent.
Man, we got a bunch of lucky ones here right in a row.
Not bad at all. Don't talk such rot. That's a... You can't... Good one.
Okay, that'll do.
Farewell, citizen.
Now, there should be a decent chunk of plants out here, right? Yeah. And they do have their own sort of alchemy zone as well, if I remember correctly. But no reason not to take a whole bunch of Fly Amanita out here, right? Why not? Right now, alchemical items like this, they are a premium. We're just like picking up 100 gold at a time, roughly. Probably closer to 90, you know? Well, no. Yeah, probably closer to like 80 to 90, given our haggling situation, right? There we are, because you make 2 potions, and they're what, 50 gold a pop? And we'll get that number up higher as we get better apparatuses too, I believe, right? I think so. Okay. Great. Oh, got some more over here. These barrels are unlootable, they're hollowed out. Nice. And the fog has been lifted, I think. Or at least it's not visible from here. And we could proceed into the main entry area, but I don't think we ought to. Do I have a proper quest right now? I've received recommendations from all of the local guild halls in Cyrodiil. I must now travel to the Arcane University and speak with Raminus Polus. Great. So can I just go in now? No matter how hard you try, the gate will not move. So I do have to speak with Raminus. I'm gonna do a quick save. I don't want to get the next quest yet. If necessary, we will hold off, right? As much as I would love to get access to the, everything that they have on offer here.
Associate.
Okay, Raminus?
Hello, Associate. It seems you've obtained the final recommendation you required.
That's right, yeah, I have. Tell me about the guild, though, real quick. Actually, let me persuade
Certainly.
you. Let's see. He hates admiration, he enjoys jokes. Okay.
Don't try to manipulate. I wish you can't. Oh, that's great. That's really too much. Well done. You're wasting your. Not now. Not later. Not ever. Don't talk such. What a great. Oh, please. Oh, that's great. That's really too much. That's Don't waste. Really? Interest. You can't scare me.
Okay.
Don't waste. Really? Oh, please.
There we are. Okay, tell me about the guild now.
The Arcane University has been here for nearly as long as the Mages Guild has been in Cyrodiil. It has been our home for ages.
And a rumor?
Half of the Council of Mages resigned when Traven took over the position of Archmage.
And about all my recommendations. Do I get access?
I have received recommendations from all the local guild halls in Cyrodiil. You've done well for yourself. You may now enter the university.
Hey!
As a full-fledged member of the Mages Guild, I now also promote you to the rank of apprentice and grant you the robe of the apprentice. Take a moment and try it on. Then we shall speak of what comes next for you.
Okay. And I shan't speak again to him. Now, true enough, similar to what we were talking about earlier, it is actually inefficient to wear robes in Oblivion if you are like a caster, because they take up the spot, the inventory slot, of both your chest piece and your, like, greaves, your pants, your leggings, right? So often a lot better to just wear, like, a shirt or something like that, and pants. That way you get 2 enchanted items rather than just the 1. But, you know, later down the line, if you really want to do it, you can get your character powerful enough to where you don't miss out on the extra item slot. Right? It's not too bad. Fortify willpower on self 6 points. I'm guessing it'll cap out at 10. Okay. But now, can I go through?
Hello, Master Wizard.
Slash and smash. Doesn't the name say it all?
It's an axe
I have a
name.
feeling that you and
He's
I are
got
about
big
to become
maces
very
and big
close.
axes.
Everybody's
Herbal is a
talking
big
about
fan
the
of
hero
killing
of
things
Kavach.
thoroughly.
They say he actually went
So,
into an
have you bet on any
Oblivion
arena
gate
matches
and
lately?
destroyed it.
No, sir.
What's
Good
the
to
news
know.
from the other parts of Tamriel?
I'm losing my mind trying to parse
Nothing
both
I'd like to talk
conversations
about.
simultaneously.
I am
So I've
humbly
heard.
at your service.
The Tiber Septim Hotel is a nice place. It's not cheap, though.
I can't imagine that there's a finer establishment in the entire
Oh,
city.
the orrery.
Farewell.
Okay. Let's head on into the inner workings of the university. I think I still have on hand my my iron longsword. No, I stashed it. Okay. Sure. Well, maybe we can buy up a new one here. Hello.
My
Who are
name's
you?
Aegir. I don't get out much. Too many books to read.
Okay. Tell me about the city.
It's terrible. I just can't walk past a bookstore. The first edition in the market district is the worst.
Okay. Good
Be
talk.
seeing you.
Mage scholar.
Yes, yes, I'm sure you've got something exceedingly important to say. But the apprentices do not teach themselves, now do they? Good day.
Okay.
I know you're busy, but I need a moment of your time. I guess that depends on how much of my
Oh
precious
yeah.
time
We
you
definitely
need.
got to take all these.
Well,
These
you
absolutely
recall my
go back.
hypothesis, the one I mentioned the other day? I'll have you know I was right. And to think you actually doubted me.
What an absolute asshole.
About the art's magic. Fireballs and crossbows are one thing, but this incredible.
Exactly.
Great.
Do I continue with that line of study, or shall I delve?
Now we can even look in here. Got 1 gold,
As soon as you discover anything,
cheese wedge, and pear.
best not tell the others about this.
Very good then. I'll get right on it.
Okay. Yeah, the nice thing about this outdoor, like, little collection of ingredients is that you make so many trips back and forth here that's so easy to just gather them up real fast. Okay. Good lord, there are a lot. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's everything you could possibly want. There we are. And these over here. Any others? I think I got them all from this section. Whew. Now over here. More of them. Good lord, look at that. What a fucking treasure trove, huh? Now, one of the cool things I remember out here is that there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 different lectures that they will actually give here at the Arcane University. Oh, I think they're
How do you
maybe
do?
doing one right now.
Well met.
Oh, no.
I won't take up much of your time.
Yeah, I forget. There's like a little seating area, isn't there? Where they'll
Hello.
people will come by and sit down and they'll deliver like 1 of 5 different lectures that you can actually listen to. I don't remember if it actually gives you a skill up for listening to them, but they are definitely unique, and I think you can miss out on some of them by way of just getting unlucky with your RNG, right? And the time of day in which you appear in the university grounds.
I'll come.
Good lord.
But little more. What do you need?
Okay. We won't do this every time, but for right now, while we do, you know, we do need the money. We definitely have uses for it.
It's not so
Make no mistake, we're gonna fucking yoink up everything, huh?
we're talking about. After all,
There's more research to be done, of course, but the initial findings are quite encouraging. I'll let you know when I have some more information.
we shouldn't keep this news a secret. Feel free to tell the others. But let them know the
Until later, then.
I think me opening containers maybe screwed around with the way in which the audio was playing. Got some tongs there. Also useful. My god, there are so many shroomages here. This might be more lucrative than the vineyard. Right? Yeah, it's gotta be. The vineyards, there's
Good to
only so
see you.
many. Now that we can make something of everything, a mage apprentice. Hey.
I'm sorry, fellow Magister, but I don't have time to talk right now. My studies keep me very busy, as you can well imagine.
I genuinely think they should have made it to where you can't have a beard. Right? That's probably my biggest bugbear with the game, I think. They should have stuck to their fucking guns and made you not be able to have a beard on your character. I genuinely think they should have kept that. Oh, this is the little lecture area. Yeah, I can't remember if you actually do get a skill up or anything for being present during a lecture. Part of me says that you do, but another part of me is like, no, you only get them from, like, seeing people actually fighting or whatever. Those 2 instances we talked about previously at, like, Cloud Ruler Temple and all of that. Or Cloud Top, or whichever fucking one it was. Okay. Great, I think we got everything. Now, there should also be an interior one as well. Here, let me check the map. Am I mistaken, or is there also like a proper interior garden that you can gather stuff from? I'm not sure. One of these, I think the Chironasium is custom spells? Maybe the Lustratorium. I don't know. I don't know. I forget what all they are. Okay. Let's head on in and check, though, real fast. We'll start from over here.
Up some potions? You look like quite the alchemist.
Yeah, we'll just systematically go through everything. Hello?
Yes, yes, I'm sure you've got something exceedingly important to say. But the apprentices do not teach themselves now, do they? Good day.
Okay, so you are a teacher here. Lustratorium. We'll take a peek inside. Hello. Oh, you're another apprentice. Ah. Alchemy stuff. And books just scattered all over town. Yep. Some of the shelves are still a little fucked up. I appreciate it. Okay. Is there a person here that I can actually buy from, though? Frankly, I don't remember where I can even get high-end alchemy equipment. I don't even remember who sells it at this point. Maybe Sandarian does, right? When we finally meet with him. Which, we are getting a fair amount of Nirnroot. I think we've got like 2 pounds of Nirnroot. Right? Just raw Nirnroot. We may want to consider chatting him up before long as well. Okay, let's check these upper floors here. Ooh, we're not allowed to. We'll never fucking mind. Okay. Good, good, good. Then over here. Alright. Chironasium. I'm thinking this is enchanting. I'm thinking. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Look, my memory ain't that bad. Okay. Hey, Delmar. Look, he's having a fun time, too. He's vibrating with excitement about enchanting. Okay.
Welcome to the Chironasium. Can I help you?
Okay. Tell me about the city. Actually, can I persuade you? No, I can't. We're on good terms because we're both in the Mages Guild. Tell me about the city.
Enchanting city. Real eyeful.
Enchanting city, come on!
Stroll along the Greenway and around the palace.
He's the enchanting room guy. He says enchanting city? Get the fuck out. Come on, you can't say that. You can't say enchanting city. Oh, I'm absolutely enchanted to meet you. There's magic in the... Tell me about the guild.
If you're looking to create your own enchantments, you've come to the right place.
I'm definitely looking to do that. Tell me a rumor.
Some say that Traven is misusing the power of the Archmage's position to further his personal agendas.
My God. Okay.
Bye.
Now, I do think when it comes to enchanting, we're going to have to be a little bit more careful about how we do it, too. Right? Because in Oblivion Remastered, our attack speed is significantly slower now. Right? In OG Oblivion, your attack rate is exceedingly fast. Right? In some cases, even faster than Morrowind. Right? Dependent upon your weapon type. Right? Let's see, a whole bunch of stuff here. Oh, freezing touch. Actually, maybe I want these. I can just take these? Freezing touch and open easy lockdown? God, yeah, I'm gonna take them. Okay. Thankfully, I can use this scroll bar, so as our repertoire of spells grows unmanageable, it won't be that bad. It'll be a little bad. It'll be a little bad. Let's be real. It will be a little bad. Okay. And then let's see here. What was the other one? Open. Let's see, open easy lock. There we go. Great. Okay. Calipers here. Yoink. I will take that. Desk filled with Guide to the Imperial City. More tongs. Okay. Sack of corn.
Your shield arm looks strong.
Yeah, keep your shield arm strong. I use it for bashing people now. Okay. Anything else around here? Let's see. So what all effects do I have? I have one Grand Soul Gem, which we definitely should save for our weapon, because that'll be by far our biggest jump. Let's see here. We'll just take a look. I'm not going to do it just yet. Because we don't have weakness to magicka. Who sells weakness to magicka? In the last playthrough, we went with weakness to shock. Our Queen Baronzia's Revenge weapon was a shock weapon. Maybe this time we'll go with frost, right? Is there a downside to running with frost? Maybe we'll do frost this time. Yeah, okay. But yeah, what you would want to do to just make a really souped up and overpowered weapon is you would have 100 magnitude weakness to an element of your choice, and then 100 magnitude weakness to magicka, and you would have them in the original. I think we use like 1 or 2 seconds of it, but like I said, here in the remaster you probably want like 3 or 4 seconds depending on the speed of your weapon, and then you would put in the associated like elemental damage. But part of what I'm also thinking is maybe we just have, rather than that, we get like absorb magicka, and then I fire off the spell effect myself. Would that work too? I think it would, with the weakness stacking. Then we would get a bit more uses out of it. Yeah, that might be the move. That might be what we ought to do. Okay. That way we don't have to worry about recharging our weapon nearly as often, which may be a point of contention here. I don't know. There was certainly reason enough in the original to carry around soul gems aplenty.
Welcome to the...
Let's see, in fact, yeah, you don't sell any. I was about to say, anytime we see people selling soul gems, as we get more and more money, we should probably think about just buying them out, because they'll be that good.
Your shield arm looks strong.
Whoa! Oh my god! I don't think I've ever heard that delivery. Holy shit! Oh my god, she likes that. Oh my gosh. Oh, good lord. I'm not afraid of a strong Nord woman, as it turns out.
Yes, I'm sure you've got something exceedingly important to say. But the apprentices do not teach themselves, now do they? Good day.
Okay. Now she's become a nerdlinger, just like all the rest. Practice rooms, is there anything good here? I don't know that there is. They may actually sell weakness to magicka here.
Reinald Viernes. I'm the practice room proctor. No horseplay or foolishness. This is for serious exercises.
Okay, and tell me about the city.
I like to walk. You can walk for hours in the city. Always something to look at, someone to talk to.
How about a rumor?
Some say that Traven is misusing the power of the Archmage's position to further his personal agendas.
Okay.
Goodbye.
You casting a heal spell? Is that what that is? Is that restoration? Whoa, 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 whoa! It's flying around. Wait, will you actually hit me with it? God, I think you are. Hang on. Will this kill me?
Should you need something, I will be happy to oblige.
Oh, God, yeah, he'll just fucking kill me. Look at this! Oh, okay, Proctor. I thought you were all about safety, right? No horsing around. Look at this guy. He's ready to fucking deck me. Oh my God. Will he actually go through with it, or will he stop at the end?
How are you today?
Shit, I'm just absorbing it. You know what? Here. Look, this is good training for me as well. Let's see, on self. Where's my, my, like, healing? Yeah, this is my most effective heal. There we go. Can I out-heal Reynolds' damage? Whew. I think he shot that one right through me. Look at this. I'm out-healing him. Thanks to my absorption powers.
Greetings.
Wow, how come I'm absorbing it so well? How am I absorbing his attack, like, non-stop? Okay, that was like a ridiculous amount of rolls to have won, like the coin toss. How does it function? Look, yeah, now I'm losing them all. Right? Okay, now I'm back to winning them all. There must be like some sort of internal counter for the game when it comes to winning the coin toss or whatever. Right? It can't be that I win and lose that many coin tosses in a row. Right? That's ridiculous. Look, now I'm on the losing streak again. Okay. Let's see. We'll get a little bit of juice here from him. Thank you. Oop. Okay, okay. Peacing out. Here, maybe something a little bit more helpful. Here, can you, yeah, shoot me up with that stuff. What is that you're even casting? I don't even know. It doesn't even pop up on my UI. Oh, maybe it does. Well, maybe it's because the UI is a little fucked up. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what it could be. What are you casting at me? Okay. Man, that makes it way easier this time around, though, if you have the Atronax sign, to just, like, stand in front of them and just absorb their magicka non-stop. Right? Like, I think Reynold, his is way more effective. Right? Because obviously, like, way back in the day, it used to be that they wouldn't shoot at you. Right? They wouldn't shoot at you, would they? I think they would stop. I think. Right, just as they do in Skyrim land, if you walk in front of archers. Okay. Mind you, they do go back to shooting at you if you walk in front of people, like, at targeting ranges and stuff in Starfield, right? We return to this. But like I said, it may be, like, once again, Mandela effect going on, and, like, I'm thinking that it works that way, but they always would light you up, big time. Regardless, really good for spell absorption builds. Look at this. They're up here working too. Yeah, the amazing thing is that this actually will level you up.
Greetings, apprentice.
Oh. Oh, they're all leaving now. Well, that just means it's the perfect time to look through all this crap. Though I don't think any of it's stealing. Okay. Got some sacks here, tobacco, pewter cup. Okay. Biography of Baron Zaya, Volume 3. I'll take it. Sack hidden back there. Okay, we're good. Lovely. Let's head on down here.
Met.
Where can I find a spell vendor aside from, like, Raminus?
Hello.
Maybe he's the only one. Right, maybe we would have to go to individual guild halls. Imperial Watchtower there. Okay, Mage Quarters. We may as well do a full tour of the place. It's our first time here. Okay. Good. Anything else? A lockpick, repair hammer. Sure. 2 gold, a flax tunic, basement. I hear some woot root. Which normally I wouldn't take anything like that, but in this case... yeah, I'm gonna take it. Trials of St. Alessia. I'll take that. That's a good read. I don't remember if it is, but it's definitely one we haven't read yet. Bothiel. Hello. Do you sell spells or anything?
I'll pay handsomely if you can procure the items in that list. Find me everything on there, and you'll be well compensated. Good day.
What? Quest added repairing the orrery. Okay. Okay, thank you. This is, repairing the orrery is a DLC area, right? Added from the original game, which is, maybe they have reused dialogue present elsewhere in the game for this, which is why it seems so weird and stilted, even for Oblivion. All right, tell me about the city.
The orrery here is the only one in Cyrodiil.
Well,
there's one more in Hammerfell, the old one at Stros Mackay.
Did they record new stuff? God, I don't remember now. All right, how about a rumor?
Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage. They're more structured, but everyone seems tense.
You know what? That is also really fascinating that we just learned that there is only one other orrery, and it's present in Stros Mackay. Right? Obviously, there's old Dwemer ones. You know, there's old Dwemer ones and stuff like that. But as far as ones that we know of, there's one in Hammerfell, in Stros Mackay. Irlav Jarol. Hello?
A pleasure to speak with you.
Why does he look kind of like Swen? Why does he look like he could be Swen Vincke's brother, right? You know, creative head of Larian Studios. Why does he look like he could be his brother? Right? What's... He looks a lot like him. Right? They could be related for real. All right, Imperial City. Tell me about the city.
You know, of course, the Imperial Palace is Ayleid. White Gold Tower, they called it back in the Middle Merethic, when the Aldmeri ruled Tamriel.
Right, okay. Tell me a rumor.
The Mages Guild has made more than a few enemies since necromancy was banned. Farewell.
Okay, fucking Wes Johnson killing it as per usual. Okay. There we are, over here. Anything else? A little sack. Nothing much. Look at all this, like, paint chips all over the floor. What's going on? Got some gold. Okay, did we check these barrels and whatnot? Yeah, we did. I remember the flax tunic. Let's go to the upper levels. I'll take some more calipers. Man, we're gonna get all of our tongs and calipers right here. There we go. Ooh. Wow, look at the strawberries. They look amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, strawberries are in season right now in real life, at least where I live. Recently picked up a whole bunch for cheap at the grocery store, and they were exceptional. And also, there were just too many. Right? What's the deal with grocery store fruit? They always give you so much. You can't possibly eat them all before they go bad. Let's see over here. Oh shit. See, at least if it's like veg or whatever, at least here, grocery store veg, you can choose like, okay, I want like 2 heads of broccoli. I want 3 heads of broccoli because I know usually I'm gonna be able to eat that much before it goes bad. Right, but if it comes with, if it's like strawberries or blueberries or whatever, blueberries are the biggest offender of this for me, right? I fucking love blueberries, but I can't eat that many that are in a little carton of them that fast before they go bad. right? You can't pick like, I think I can probably, before these blueberries go bad, I could probably eat 17. May I have a carton of 17 of your finest blueberries? If only. Okay. These are all just generically named mage apprentices, I think. Yeah, let's head on down this way. Good. That said, yeah, with some fruits, you know what? With some fruits, you can do that, right? Apples. Sure, there's apples and they sell in like big old bags of them and stuff. But other, like, you can get plenty of like apples and stuff. It's like, yeah, I will buy 1 apple. Right? I know this week I'm feeling like maybe I could eat 3. So I will buy 3, you know? Not the case with the others, though, that you have to get in a certain container, right? Which, you know, we hem and haw over sort of the waste of it, but, right, we don't even see the full breadth of the situation where, how many get lost along the way. Man, every time I loot one of these desks, the book just immediately, as if the desk and the book are loaded with magnets, it goes flying off. It is absolutely repelled. Okay. Oh, Tarmina. Hello. We saw you earlier, I think.
It's my pleasure. Please continue.
Tell me about the city.
Too big for me. Loud, dirty. Clowns, fools, brutes, and thieves everywhere.
Clowns,
I want to throw my gold away. I just dump it in Lake Rumara. Save time.
Hang on, where are you dumping your gold at in the lake? Hang on, maybe I want or need that. Tell me about the guild.
The Mystic Archives have a large collection of books. Look around, and you may learn a thing or two.
Okay, tell me a rumor.
Did you hear that Falkar left the guild?
I did.
I think Dietsan is in charge in Cheydinhal now.
Okay.
Bye.
Mage Scholar there. Can you actually find where she's been dumping gold into the lake? Okay. Dude, if she could, Tarmina would be throwing fucking, like, used car batteries into Lake Rumar. Right? That's why the slaughterfish in there are so weird and bothering that fisherman. Okay. Tarmina throws, grand soul gems that she accidentally filled with petty soul gems, petty souls. She throws those right into Lake Rumare. And that's what's causing the issue with the fishermen at the Walnut Inn and all of that, right? That's what's causing the issue with the slaughterfish being a little too buck wild. That's why there's a really big one hidden around. God, do you think it still exists? Does the really big slaughterfish, is that still a reality? God, I can't wait. Look at this, we need to pick into here when everyone's snoozing and losing. If I even can. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. Okay. Oh my god! Holy shit. Should I take everything? It will look a little weird, but in this case, I'm willing to do it. Right? That's our reward. Can I put anything back in there? Maybe I can put something back in. What would I even put in, though? I'll put some corn in there. I'll put 1 corn. Okay. Yeah, check it out. New type of soul gem just dropped. It's corn, baby. It's corn. Okay. Let's go on out. Let's see. Did I check the upper levels and all that? God, I don't even remember. Where the fuck was I at just now? I was in the basement, wasn't I? Yeah, I was in the basement, right? God, I was so distracted by corn. I forgot what the hell is even happening. Okay. I'm out of it today. Look at me, I'm all over the fucking place. Should have had more coffee. Should have had a second cup. Ingredients taken from plants grow back after some time. Thanks, load screen. We don't need to know the exact time frame. Who needs to know that? Just some time. Some time. Okay. Peek over here. Watch what you pick up. Hello.
I am never too busy for good talk.
Isn't Irene Metric graceful?
She's impressive, and she'll train others.
Go on.
I needed some cash, so I went to see Jensine.
She gives good prices for your old equipment. There's been some terrible trouble at the chapel in Anvil. All of Dibella's priests and priestesses murdered.
Oh, no.
Yes.
What's the news from the other parts of Tamriel?
Nothing I'd like to talk about.
See you.
Farewell.
He only wants
Good
to talk
evening.
about murders.
Good to
All
see
the
you.
priests of Dibella getting murdered. That's what he wants to talk about. All right, Boderi Ferrano.
Yes, I'm Boderi Ferrano, Mage's Guild. You want advanced training in mysticism? I think I can fit you in.
Oh, cool. Thank you. And Boderi Ferrano, I've never seen someone look quite so deer-like. Why does she look like a deer or something? Or an elk or whatever? She looks very deer-ish. What's going on? All right, tell me about the city.
Other arcane trainers in the city? Just one, Dovin Arin, in the Market District. Basic instructor in alteration.
Oh, basic instructor.
Knowledge is power.
Okay. Maybe I should train up mysticism a bit.
Tell me more.
Oh, can't persuade you anymore?
Take care.
Fair enough. Check this shit out, Boderi. Here's some alteration for you. Fuck, it didn't do it. God, I'm so fucking embarrassing. Don't look, Boderi. Don't fucking look. I thought the book was gonna get repelled. Okay. What we got over here? Oh, the 5 songs of King Wolfhearth. Love it. Display case. What do we got here? Amulet of Kings. No Fighters Guild history? Okay. I mean, fair enough. They're both, they're not at odds with one another, necessarily. Right? They're both chartered by the Tamrielic Empire. Ah, Mana Marco, King of Worms. Probably something we should come back and read. Right? I've yet to really go through robbing these, libraries. I say robbing. We're allowed to take it, right? It's just more
You're
fun
a
if it's
fit one.
theft.
Been running a lot?
Yeah, I run all the time. Unless I'm on my horse, who also runs all the time. Oh, got a few little doodads falling around. Novice equipment. Pants. Ooh, garlic. I will take that. Absolutely weightless, garlic is. Incredible. Bone meal. How about this desk? Guide to Anvil. Sure. Another desk. Guide to Bruma. The Argonian account, book 2. I guess I'll take it. Another display case. Hanging gardens, liminal bridges, the wild elves. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to be back for all this. We're gonna absolutely destroy the beautiful displays here. Which, what is remarkable is that the displays work so fucking well. Right? That when we open them, they don't go flying all over the place. That is actually a massive shock to me. Okay, anything here? Nope. Children of the Sky. Great. Let's continue on down this way.
Greetings to you.
Did we check? Oh, there is no lower level. Okay. I think we've nearly checked everything here, I think. We probably should rest the next time we see a bed. Look, I missed some shroomage. The Praxographical Center, which must mean that this is the custom spell zone.
Hi there.
Hi.
You're a fit one. Been running a lot?
Borosian, I have.
Borosian. Master Spellmaker for the Mages Guild. Guildsmen only, of course.
Yeah, you can't even get back here otherwise, of course. Let's see,
Tell
can I
me
persuade you? Nope. Guildmate bonding. Tell me about the city.
What? There's a city out there? You don't say. What good is it, eh? Dirt, horses, idiots, be my guest.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah, fuck them. Fuck them. I hate them. I hate the city. That's why I live there. I'm fucking Jahira. Tell me about the Mages Guild.
Gaspar and I have learned a great many spells over the years. Once you've learned them, you can use the knowledge to create your own.
Okay. Sure. Rumors?
Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage. They're more structured, but everyone seems tense.
Okay. What spells do you
Only
sell?
quality goods for sale here.
You wouldn't happen
What
to sell
can I
weakness
interest
to
you in?
magicka, right? Movement mastery, and it's telekinesis. Who would have ever fucking thought? Oh god, you spell legendary spell absorption spell. Okay. Magicka drain. Devour health. I want absorb magicka though. Fortify speed. Ooh, now that's a fun one. Only 5 points. Gosh, you got some wild things here. It's gotta be said. But nothing that I particularly want right now. I mean, legendary spell absorption is quite good. Let's make, let's not kid ourselves. Okay, sure. Good talk.
Bye.
Let's take a look at the new UI. Oh yeah, look at all this. Holy hell. Yeah, who sells weakness to magicka? That's the one thing we're missing. Okay. Anything else around here? Let's see, it doesn't look like it.
Hail.
There's a desk filled with Argonian Account Book 4. I'll take it. Let's head on up. Upper level. There's no lower level here. Okay. Got some fruits. Gaspar Stagine. Ugh, he's got a beard.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Please continue.
Tell me a rumor.
Soris Aranim sure seems upset. I think he lost something important.
Okay.
You too.
Can I sleep in these? Well, this is not really a bed. What the fuck? Something is jingle jangling, and it ain't my spurs. Let's see. Does this tell me... Yeah, here we go. It would be destruction, wouldn't it? Skingrad. That's where we need to go if we want to look for that specific spell effect, which I think we ought to. Take some of those out of the container here. Golden tongs. Yeah, this place is rich in tongs and the other stuff. Oh look, this one fell over. You know what? I will take it. And this one too. It doesn't look delightful. I'll keep them if they look delightful. But if they get fucked up, it's fair game. Okay. Yeah, like over here. This is a delight to look upon. Argonian Account Book 2. I don't know if we have that one already or not. But may as well yoink it while we have the opportunity. Okay. Sure. Let's head on out. Let's see. What should we go and do first?
Greetings to you.
I think we ought to... Yeah, let's head over to the rooms and we'll rest. Right? We'll do that. Let's see. Over here.
Hello there.
There we are. I forget. Is there any leveled loot from Azura's Daedric quest? I don't think so. I mean, Azura's Star is always a Grand Soul Gem. Right? There we are. Head on up here. Which I guess this time around, maybe we should get the fucked up version. Oh, great. Everybody is fucking sleeping. Except me. Oh, wait. Okay. Wow. We get to take a nap. Hell yes. Let's go for 10 hours. There we go. Good, good, good. That was, by the way, that was me ever since I turned 25. Ooh, we get to take a nap. All right, the results of hard work and dedication always look like luck. But you know you've earned every ounce of your success. Okay, Look, I'll get luck up to a nice 60. Right? That seems fair enough. And then, let's see, what ought I do here? I really don't want to level... The issue is, I don't want to level personality. I actively enjoy having shitty personality and having people who I don't know kind of hate me. I always love this. In games, of course. I guess we could always just, like, damage our own personality and stuff. We could do that. But what a task. What a task. Alright, let's see. Let's get speed. Let's get some int. And then I'll put the rest into speed. There we go. Great. Now, let's head on out. Let's go get some more heavy armor training at the best defense. That way we can sort of... We'll have a good lead on our heavy armor levels, I think.
Fellow Magister, may I speak with you?
Okay.
Oh, yes, of course. What is it?
Let's see here. Market District. Good. Which, of course, you know, we walked over to the Arcane University because we've never walked over there before. Is this Hieronymus Lex?
Have mercy.
I'm never going to fucking see this guy. I will never see him. Even when we do more of the Thieves Guild, I'm never going to see him. He's going to have like a chameleon effect.
I'm Bernardo.
Okay. Hey, Bernardo.
Good
Can
that
you
you
train
want to
me?
get better.
Thank you. Caps out at 70. Gotcha. Okay. And anything else we ought to do here? How many repair
What
hammers
can
do
I
I have?
interest you in?
Do I need to pick up any more? Oh, no, we've got plenty. Gosh, our encumbrance is nearly out of control from all the...
You too.
The looting back a ways. Okay. And then... let's head over to Skingrad's Mages Guild and see if they sell... what do you call it? If they sell... weakness to magicka. If not, we may need to, at some point or another, probably sooner rather than later, look up just who sells it. Because that is definitely a high priority one. Okay. Oh yeah, get some Morning Glory here. Oh, yeah, okay. Mages Guild over this way. Got some more plants up there. Is that lootable? No. Skingrad Mages Guild. And the time of day should be ideal for doing this. No?
It's my pleasure. Please, continue.
Silenus Vassinus. Tell me a rumor.
Things in the guild have been different since Traven was named Archmage.
So I've heard.
More structured, but everyone seems tense.
Okay, good
Take
talk.
care.
Good to see you.
Adrian.
I hope I can help.
No, you just want to talk about
Goodbye.
Glarthier. What time of day is it? It's 1:50. Should be able to trade. No?
Everybody's talking about the hero of Kavach. They say he actually went into an Oblivion gate and destroyed it.
What? How are you?
What?
Fantastic.
What's the news
Thanks
from
for
the other
asking.
parts of Tamriel?
Adahorn Castle
Nothing I'd
near
like to
Coral
talk
is
about.
besieged by
Okay,
marauders.
hello.
I can help.
Druzha, do you sell spells? Yes, you do.
Let's
and
see
you
if
do
we can
mysticism
teach you
training
a thing or
as
two.
well.
I offer the finest goods and lowest prices in all Cyrodiil.
Damage, health, and fatigue. Drain fatigue, drain health. Shocking touch. Yeah, nobody's got it. Isn't it a... well, no. Isn't it a destruction spell? Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping.
Take care.
Yes.
Oh,
Well met.
Vijay the Cautious.
Only quality goods for sale here. What
Withering
can I interest
touch,
you in?
corrode weapon, magicka, destruction, drain all these stats. Hey, there it is. Weakness to magicka. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and summon Storm Atronak. You could get that too. Okay. Do you have a frost attack that I might want to have here? Yeah, Winter's Grasp. Maybe we'll buy both of those. Tell me a rumor real quick.
Well, the Mages Guild runs more or less like it always did. But we lost quite a few members when the practice of necromancy was banned.
Okay. How about some persuasion?
Take your time.
He hates admiration, he loves jokes, and coercion. Okay.
I doubt you. You've got a point. Oh, I like that. A lot.
Okay.
That's it. I doubt. You've got a point.
Okay, and then...
Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel.
Oh my gosh, you're only a novice at this. Can I just cap it out? 97? Okay. Get this first and foremost.
I can't afford to do that.
Nope. What if I take it to 93? I think we had done 90 before for a novice. Yeah, there we are. And Winter's Grasp. We'll build up to it. Should I get anything else while I'm here? I want Absorb Magicka, though. Not like Drain. I could get Summon Storm Atronak so we could have one. Yeah, fuck it. May as well. May as fucking well.
Come back and see me again.
Okay.
Not only does Shamir make a good wine at the Tamika
Now.
Vineyards, but he's really good with his
Oh, is there
bow, too.
is there like a vendor lord here?
It's
Does
my
anyone
pleasure.
sell soul gems?
Can
Purchasing
I
spells?
interest you in some of my
I
wares?
looked at you before.
What a
I'm sorry.
fool.
What a
I
fool.
hope he's happy with himself.
I've heard others say the same.
They say that when you murder someone,
Larth
the
here
Dark
is
Brotherhood
acting
comes to you
even
in your
strange-
I'm heading up here. We can snooze and lose for an hour at least. Okay. It was eerily quiet for a second. Okay. Because we got all of our training. May as well. The results of hard work and dedication always look like luck. But you know, you've earned every ounce of your success. Okay. Another point into luck, I guess. Yeah, we may as well just keep pumping luck. If I want to avoid personality as much as possible. Yeah, that's the only way I can do it, and even then I won't be able to. I'll still have to put points into personality, won't I? Yeah, fuck me. I'm fucked no matter what way you cut it. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with that. Good. Let's head on out over here. Man, these soul gems laying around, they are looking very tempting now. As beautiful as they are to look
Greetings,
upon.
Conjurer.
Ooh.
Yes?
Did you hear that Falkar left the guild?
Are you the vendor
I
lord?
hope I can help. Can I interest you in some of my wares?
No.
Is this true?
Does Skingrad not have like a vendor?
Have you heard any word
Is
about the
Skingrad
other
Mage's Guild?
provinces?
I guess not. Okay. Well, let's head on out. And then, let's get this going, get that. Beautiful. Okay. Now, with that out of the way, should we go and pick up our cool weapon? Right? Let's go get that. There we are. And we'll keep it lightweight. Right? We'll stick with just a iron longsword for now. We'll get plenty more Grand Souls to where we can experiment around if we want. Okay. Now the other catch with it too is that we want to be very careful about running through soul gems this early on. Right? Because we don't have like a huge supply of them just yet. Okay. And true enough, not having Azura's Star is going to be a big problem. So we'll just save it for like, you know, we run into an enemy that regenerates extremely fast. You know, we'll save it for occasions like that. Okay, over here into the vault. Great. We can stash some of our other crap here as well. I think. Some of our tongs and whatnot. I'll take that, and then search is what I have to do. And then, let's see here. Are the tongs in there? Great, and then... let's see here. Calipers. Pop them in there. And then, what else should I stash? Guess I'll get rid of that and that. The Dagger of Brittleness. Should I ditch it just yet? I will. I will get rid of it. Or I'll store it, at least. Okay. Already we're primed for doing another big alchemy run, too. How ridiculous. Okay, and then... ooh, you know what? Let's take the portal, right? Let's take the portal. Now that we've been to every single one of them. It's not like it's important, but we may as well do it once, just for fun. Let's have a little bit of practice with the sword. Yeah, we're so much slower. What's the time on that? Okay, it's about 2 seconds. So we may want to get like 3 or 4 seconds on it just to have extra wiggle room. Right? Yeah, that's about 2 seconds from when we can attack again. Maybe a little bit under 2 seconds, if I had to guess. Okay. Now, of course, we could use like a dagger, and that'd probably be even better, or as we had mentioned before, a short sword. We could do that. Oh yeah, should we go to town and pick up a short sword and just see if that's better? Oh yeah, maybe we should. Maybe I would prefer a short sword over a long sword. I don't think I want to run around with a dagger, though. But I'm down for a short sword. I'm down for that. A dagger? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, let's head on up here. And then, is this where the portals are? I think so. Like I said, we don't really need to do this ever, because there's fast travel that's just completely unabated. But, there we are, Arcane University. And there's even one that sends you to Kvatch. Holy hell. Which I don't think it works, right? If you try to use a Kvatch one, it says you can't use it. Even though it's like all animated and everything. Excuse me, fellow Magister. Let's head over to the Market District. There we are. Good, good, good. And we'll wait here until it's daylight out. Let's go for 11 hours, I think. And we'll check in on the various smithies and whatnot. We'll get a look at how the like attack pattern is for short swords. It might be identical to daggers.
Speak.
I mean, if it is, I'd be down for it because I like the look of it, you know? Okay. Does the best defense sell weapons? I don't think so. Let's go to Slash and Smash. What a name! Wow! It's all in the name, huh? Whoa, holy shit, what's your outfit? Oh, never mind. Okay, that's your hair around the back. Holy shit, I thought he had like a collar right there for his little like undershirt, and then the leather chest piece also had a collar going around the back in almost like a Cyberpunk 2077 style. I was like, holy hell, this thing looks amazing! Okay.
Herbal grow Orkog knows you need axes and blunt weapons, big ones. So he makes them and sells them here. Slash and Smash, the big orc weapons shop. Big weapons for big heroes.
Cool. And this of course is the original Orc Man voice actor, right? Let's see. Can I persuade you any? Ooh, I can a whole bunch. He seems to like admiration and joking, and he hates everything else. Okay.
I like that. A lot.
He likes it a lot.
You're pathetic. I like you too. Thank you. You're pathetic. That's really funny. You're pathetic. You're too kind. Where'd you get that? That's good. That's great. How's it go again? Oh, please. Oh, thank you. I like that. A lot. Oh, please. Thank you. That's really funny. It's good. You're pathetic.
Thanks. He loves me. You wouldn't know it, but he loves me. All right, tell me about the city.
Where else? You have to be here. This is the city. The big city. Why waste time in little places?
Isn't this the original voice actor for Orkman? I think it is, right? I'm tripping, right? This is it, right?
The Imperial Watch seems awfully worried about the Gray Fox. Look at all those wanted posters.
Okay. Let's do some bartering
Can I
here.
interest you in some of my wares?
Oh shit, you've got a club. Maybe I should get that. It's kind of a unique thing, huh? Let's see. Short sword. Yeah, perfect. An iron short sword. And it only weighs 8 units, less than half the encumbrance of the iron longsword. Yeah, why? The iron longsword is actually far more heavy than anything else here. That is shocking. It might also be that we could want a higher grade material just for the sake of it not breaking rapidly. Right? I don't remember how important that might be. That might actually be incredibly important. That might actually be really, really important. I'm going to buy the club, though, while I'm at it. Let's see. Let's haggle a bit. You're an apprentice, so I'll go to 70. Let's see. One
Excellent
club.
deal.
And 1 iron short sword. Oh, and I'll buy a lockpick, too.
A fine bargain for you.
Oh, God. Should we, while we're
Another
here, should we go
satisfied
check in with Shady Sam?
You too.
Perhaps. Oh, fuck. I'm encumbered like nobody's business here. All right, you know what? It's time to do an emergency quick super speed alk off. I think. Let's see. Because we can sell to this guy. We can sell straight to him. What all do I have that I can get rid of? Let's see. I could get rid of a whole bunch of Fly Amanita cups. I could do that. Do I have anything else to confer, like restore health? Oh, that's fortify. There we are. Oh yeah, the Cairn Belit. Okay. Oh, and Lady's Mantle. Okay. Sure. You know what? I'll burn these. Or I'll burn a bunch of them. Restore agility on self. There we go. I'll keep like 25 of them. There we are. Great. Okay. And then let's sell these off. 220 fucking potions.
Perhaps you need new armor, a weapon. I have a large selection of both.
And then we need restore agility, right? Yeah. Oh, fuck. Okay, he can't buy that much. Okay. Shit. Maybe I should have taken this over to Aura Linway again.
A fine transaction.
Okay. There we are.
That's a good deal.
We're getting there. Oh, shit.
You've made a good bit of gold.
Hey, wow, mercantile mastery increased too. Negotiation, bargaining, dickering, haggling, they're all a means to an end. Getting the best price for your goods. You're now an expert of mercantile. All merchants in the world now have 500 more gold available. You can invest in a shop to permanently increase that merchant's available gold by an additional 500. Okay, good. Well, maybe we should do that here. Why not, right?
Come back and see me again.
Let's see.
Let's do
There,
business.
it's updated. Fantastic. Invest 500?
I would gladly let you invest in my shop. The extra coin will allow me to purchase more goods from adventurers such as yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Perhaps you need new armor,
Perfect.
a weapon. I have a large selection of both. Bye.
Okay, thank you. And let's check out the animation here on this weapon. Let's check out the club too while I'm at it. It's about what you would expect. Does it sound different? Hang on. Let me do a quick save here.
Hey, come on now. There's no need to get violent.
Okay. Sorry. Just had to test it out. Just wanted to hear the striking effect. Right. Had to really get. Ooh, look. My weapon is still bloodied from another life. Okay. Now, short sword. Yeah, I feel like, is that not the same animation as the dagger? I like that the power attack is a little, you twirl it a bit. No, because the dagger has you, like, position the blade with the blade facing downward, like, closer to your pinky finger than your index finger, right, with the dagger. Am I correct in that? Yeah, let's try it real quick.
Armor, weapons, I have it all. How may I help you? A pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Just doing a little testing here. Yeah, the dagger is definitely different. Oh, I can't do a power attack. Here, I'll drop the club. Oh, that's the power attack for that. Huh. Okay. I'm still in attack animation. Let's see here. Do you twirl the blade with the longsword? You don't. It's just the short sword. Wow, okay. Huh. I think it has an equal amount of damage. No? Am I mistaken? Yeah. I think, or not damage, but like swings per second? Yeah, is the attack rate the same for short swords and daggers? I feel like it might be. Obviously, the stam cost is way lower, or the fatigue cost. Okay. I mean, even then, yeah, the fatigue cost for the short sword is also quite low. I don't know about that. I don't know. I think maybe the short sword is the way to go for looking cool. Right? Maybe that's what I want. Okay. Sure. Well, here, will you buy back your dagger?
Perhaps you need new armor, a weapon. I have a large selection of both.
Let's see. You can take this. Actually, I should probably sell off the longsword too. Right? Yeah. Granted, the dagger is way better for encumbrance, but I'm willing to sacrifice 5 units of encumbrance. Right? I mean, it's way better than the longsword, at the very least.
That's more than I'd usually pay.
Okay. Good. I should probably sell off ebony arrows, because I'm not really an archer lord, and they weigh twice as much.
A fine transaction. I appreciate your business.
There we
Be
go.
seeing you.
And I'll take this up off the floor. Great. Okay, let's get this thing enchanted, I think. Right, let's do it. Do a quick save here. And then... So let's be on the lookout for fun-looking short swords now. I like the idea of that. Okay, and then let's head over to the university. We'll just fast travel. Why not? We could even buy another round of training if we see one of the trainers here. No reason not to, huh?
Speak.
Okay. Good. Oh, look, we even missed a few bits of alchemy. I can't quite reach it.
You look like a shrewd businessman.
There we go. Good. Okay.
You look like a shrewd businessman.
Okay, take it easy. Take it easy. Let's go on over to... Oh, wrong area. Is it this one? Yeah, the Chironasium. Alright, and then we will enchant this short sword. And like I said, this will just be like our first one.
Greetings, apprentice.
Welcome to the Chironasium.
Do you sell? No, okay.
Take care.
Let's see over here. Let's get this stuff all enchanted up. There we are. Let me try iron short sword. Okay. And then how do I go over to the other one? I don't like that this is grayed out. I don't understand why that's the case. Here we are. Throw on a Grand Soul. And let's get the effects going. Now I could get... Oh, I don't yet have the ability to apply weakness to magicka. Don't I know the effect? Is it because I'm not high enough level to cast it? Is that why? I have weakness to frost, but not weakness to magicka. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I should have that, shouldn't I? Maybe it's because I'm not high enough level to cast it. For real. Let's see. Didn't I learn it from what's-his-butt, though? Yeah, it's because my skill level is too low. But can I use the skill effect? Can I still use that to craft, like, my own spell? Let's find out.
How do you do?
Okay.
Hi there. All right, but please be brief. I have some research I need to tend to.
We may need to, like, power level up our destruction a hot minute, huh? Let's see. But maybe we can get around it by way of doing this. Let's do a quick save just in case it doesn't work out.
Well met.
Spell making, and then... Yeah, I don't have weakness to magicka here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it's entirely because I don't have the requisite amount of destruction. I don't remember that being the way it worked. Maybe that was always the case, though. Right? Okay. So we will need to get some destruction training going on if we want to use this properly. Okay. Good to know. Very good to know. Okay. Let's see. Who does destruction training? Anyway. We could go back to Skingrad, but I don't think any of them even did destruction, did they? We could do that. Or we could go on like a fun little adventure, right? We could go, yeah, we could go pick up Azura's Star. True enough. We could do that. And we could also... Yeah, we could also begin... What do you call a quest here? Yeah, the pilgrimage. Yeah, maybe let's begin pilgrimage. Right, we'll begin Knights of the Nine. For now.
I mean, I'm excited by the...
And in between videos, I'll look up destruction trainers. Because I'm not sure, were there any well, you know what, let's just take a quick look. We'll go to Skingrad and we'll look real quick. We definitely met a mysticism trainer, but I don't know if any of them were destruction. Okay, up here. Because I'd be down to drop a whole bunch of money on that.
Starving. Please help.
Over here. Good. Let's see. Yeah, I guess the big benefit of using a dagger is that you get the sneak attack bonus,
Hello,
right?
a pleasure.
Which I don't even know how
we can't teach
good that really is.
Take care.
You know?
Good day.
Let's see.
Goodbye.
Good day. I can show you some new
Conjuration.
things.
Yeah, isn't there a really good destruction trainer at
I hope I can help.
Coral? Is that what I'm thinking of? Let's see. What level of destruction do I even need? Let's see here. It says it is... God, I don't know what it is. Yeah, what level of destruction do I need? Huh. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't say. Does it? Am I missing where it says? I don't know. Okay. Well, what can you do?
Good afternoon.
Skill level 2.
Where is Earthor? I haven't seen him lately.
Okay, let's head on out. Yeah, we're gonna need some destruction training for real. But I think for now, yeah, let's head on over to Anvil. And we'll get this going, right? We'll start this up, because I don't want to start up the next part of the Mages Guild until we're level 30, right? That way we get access to that really, really nice custom enchanted necklace. Arguably the best in the game. Probably, most certainly the best in the game if you're interested in like a spell absorption build. Okay. Doesn't happen to be anyone here who does destruction magic, right? At Anvil? They specialize in restoration, but maybe there's someone who does destruction.
Well met.
Hello?
There's much I can show
Illusion.
you. Take
Okay.
care.
I hope I can help.
Can you?
I'm willing to teach.
Alchemy.
If you're willing. Goodbye.
Good day.
See.
Pay attention.
Yeah, you
and
do.
You can learn a lot.
You do destruction. Okay, up to journeyman level, no less.
Be seeing you.
What is
Okay.
What's going on with you?
Let's see. Where can I
Well, at
sleep
least
here?
they're
Maybe
slow
I
and not
should
too
just
bright.
power level up
pincers
in
are
a
sharp,
major
though.
way while I'm here. Right, we could get to like level 70. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll do that. Okay. We'll call this one a little bit earlier, similar to last time, because in between videos, I think I'm just going to power level train a whole lot at this dude, right? I'm going to buy as much as I possibly can. However, if you'd like to stick around, before we end this one, we will be doing, as per usual, a little bit of reading. And what should we read this time? But perhaps... Let's see here. What should we read? I'd be down for a bit of a longer read. Right, wasn't Mysticism kind of long? No, Mysticism was a bit short. Okay, report disaster at Ionis. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, we could read this. Is there anything else that I would rather read, though? Trials of St. Alessia. Yeah, well, we'll read, Report Disaster at Ionith. Or we could do, like, Ruins of Kemelz. Yeah, let's do Ruins of Kemelz. Fuck it. It's a stolen one anyway. We might lose it before long. Alright. Apologies. I am going to take a quick drink here. Sorry. All right, who knows with how long this book is, we may hit our typical 2-hour runtime anyway. All right. The Ruins of Kemmel Z, or is it Kemmel She? I think it's Z, or Zay. By Rollard Nordsen. With the acclamations of the Fellows of the Imperial Society still ringing in my ears, I decided to return to Morrowind immediately. Right, this book appears in Morrowind. It was not without some regret that I bade farewell to the flesh pots of the Imperial City, but I knew that the wonders I had brought back from Reled Mackay had only scratched the surface of the Dwemer ruins in Morrowind. Even more spectacular treasures were out there, I felt, just waiting to be found, and I was eager to be off. I also had before me the salutary example of poor Bannerman, who was still dining out on his single expedition to Blackmarsh 20 years ago. That would never be me, I vowed. With my letter from the Empress in hand, this time I would have the full cooperation of the Imperial authorities. No more need to worry about attacks from superstitious locals. But where should I look next? The ruins at Kemmel Z were the obvious choice. Unlike Relad Mackay, getting to the ruins would not be a problem. Also known as the Cliff City, Kemmel Z lies on the mainland side of the Vardenfell Rift, sprawling down the sheer coastal cliff. Travelers from the east coast of Vardenfell often visit the site by boat, and it can also be reached overland from the nearby villages without undue hardship. Yeah, aren't they going to add this in Tamriel Rebuilt, if they haven't already? I don't think they have yet, but I think it's on their to-do list. Once my expedition had assembled in Cyrodiil, with the usual tedious complications involved in operating in this half-civilized land, we set out for the village of Morag, near the ruins, where we hoped to hire a party of diggers. My interpreter, Tuen Panai, an unusually jolly fellow for a dark elf who I had hired in Cyrodiil at the recommendation of the local garrison commander, assured me that the local villagers would be very familiar with Kemmel Z, having looted the site for generations. Incidentally, Tenpenny, as we soon came to call him, to his constant amusement, proved invaluable, and I would recommend him without hesitation to any of my colleagues who were planning similar expeditions to the wilds of Morrowind. At Morag, we ran into our first trouble. The hetman of the village, a reserved, elegant old fellow, seemed willing to cooperate, but the local priest, a representative of the absurd religion they have here, worshipping something called the Tribunal, who they claim actually live in places in Morrowind, was fervently against us excavating the ruins. He looked likely to sway the villagers to his side with his talk of religious taboos. But I waved the Empress's letter under his nose and mentioned something about my friend, the garrison commander at Cyrodiil, and he quieted right down. No doubt, this was just a standard negotiating tactic, arranged among the villagers to increase their pay. In any event, once the priest had stalked off muttering to himself, no doubt calling down curses upon the heads of the foreign devils, we soon had a line of villagers eager to sign on to the expedition. While my assistant was working out the mundane details of contracts, supplies, etc., Master Arum and I rode on to the ruins. By land, they could only be reached using narrow paths that wind down the face of the cliff from above, where any misstep threatens to send one tumbling into the sea, foaming about the jagged rocks below. The city's original entrance to the surface must have been in the part of the city to the northeast, the part that fell into the sea long ago when the eruption of Red Mountain created this mind-bogglingly vast crater. After successfully navigating the treacherous path, we found ourselves in a large chamber, open to the sky on one side, disappearing into the darkness on the other. As we stepped forward, our boots crunched on piles of broken metal, as common in dwarven ruins as potsherds in other ancient sites. This was obviously where the looters brought their finds from deeper levels, stripping off the valuable outer casings of the dwarven mechanisms and leaving their innards here, easier than lugging the intact mechanisms back up to the top of the cliff. I laughed to myself, thinking of the many warriors unwittingly walking around Tamriel with pieces of dwarven mechanisms on their backs. For that, of course, is what most dwarven armor really is. Just the armored shells of ancient mechanical men. Right. And it doesn't really look like it in Oblivion or Skyrim. Dwarven armor doesn't look like that. But my god, in Morrowind, the dwarven armor that exists there very much does look like it's repurposed. Like it says here, armored shells of ancient mechanical men. Right? It very much looks like the enemies that you're actually fighting in dwarven ruins, so like automata. It's pretty cool, right? But I think by the time Skyrim rolls around, aren't a lot of the dwarven... Yeah, you get like dwarven ingots and stuff, right? They've like been able to melt it down, right? And repurpose it. Which maybe is, you could say is what's going on here in Cyrodiil, right? But there is something to be said for the sort of ramshackle, like, mishmash together bits that exist in Morrowind, right? There's definitely something to be said for that. That said, that was before they had any ideas of entertaining the thought of having their own, like, post-apocalyptic IP, right? Before Bethesda had the faintest hint that they would someday own their own, like, series of games that would use such a similar aesthetic, right? So maybe that's why they opted out of it in the long term. Anyway, I sobered when I thought of how exceedingly valuable an intact mechanism would be. This place was obviously full of dwarven devices, judging from the litter covering the floor of this vast chamber. Or had been, I reminded myself. Looters had been working over this site for centuries. Just the casing alone would be worth a small fortune, sold as armor. Most dwarven armor is made of mismatched pieces from various devices, hence its reputation for being bulky and unwieldy. But a matched set from an intact mechanism is worth more than its weight in gold, for the pieces all fit together smoothly, and the wearer hardly notices the bulk. Of course, I had no intention of destroying my finds for armor, no matter how valuable. I would bring it back to the Society for scientific study. I imagined the astonished cries of my colleagues as I unveiled it at my next lecture, and smiled again. I picked up a discarded gear from the piles at my feet. It still gleamed brightly, as if new made, the dwarven alloys resisting the corrosion of time. I wondered what secrets remained, hidden in the maze of chambers that lay before me, defying the efforts of looters, waiting to gleam again in the light they had not seen in long eons, waiting for me. It remained only to find them. With an impatient gesture to Master Aram to follow, I strode forward into the gloom. Master Aram, Tenpenny, and I spent several days exploring the ruins, while my assistants set up camp at the top of the cliff and hauled supplies and equipment from the village. I was looking for a promising area to begin excavation, a blocked passage or corridor untouched by looters that might lead to completely untouched areas of the ruins. We found 2 such areas early on, but soon discovered that the many winding passages bypassed the blockage and gave access to the rooms behind. Nevertheless, even these outer areas, for the most part stripped clean of artifacts by generations of looters, were full of interest to the professional archaeologist. Behind a massive bronze door, burst from its hinges by some ancient turmoil of the earth, we discovered a large chamber filled with exquisite wall carvings, which impressed even the jaded Tenpenny, who claimed to have explored every dwarven ruin in Morrowind. They seemed to depict an ancient ritual of some kind, with a long line of classically bearded dwarven elders processing down the side walls, all seemingly bowing to the giant form of a god carved into the wall of the chamber, which was caught in the act of stepping forth from the crater of a mountain in a cloud of smoke or steam. According to Master Aram, there are no known depictions of dwarven religious rituals, so this was an exciting find indeed. I set a team to work prying the carved panels from the wall, but they were unable to even crack the surface. Mind you, the depiction here, I think, is meant to be the Anumidium, right? Last time we talked about the Numidium, the super mech that Tiber Septim used in his conquests. This is the one that was being built, another one that was being built, right? Or maybe this one is the regular old Numidium. I can't remember if this is meant to be the new one, Akula Khan, right? Which the sixth house of Morrowind sort of resumed construction on. I can't remember. Maybe it's just regular old Numidium. Anyway, I set a team to work prying the carved panels from the wall, but they were unable to even crack the surface. On closer examination, the chamber appeared to be faced with a metallic substance, with the texture and feel of stone, impervious to any of our tools. I considered having Master Aram try his blasting magic on the walls, but decided that the risk of destroying the carvings was too great. Much as I would have preferred to bring them back to the Imperial City, I had to settle for taking rubbings of the carvings. If my colleagues in the Society showed enough interest, I was sure a specialist could be found, perhaps a master alchemist, who could find a way to remove the panels. I found another curious room, at the top of a long winding stair, barely passable due to the fall of rubble from the roof. At the top of the stair was a domed chamber, with a large ruined mechanism at its center. Painted constellations were still visible in some places on the surface of the dome. Master Aram and I agreed that this must have been some kind of observatory, and the mechanism was therefore the remains of a dwarven telescope. To remove it from ruins down the narrow stairway would require its complete disassembly, which fact no doubt had preserved it from the attention of looters. So I decided to leave it in place for the time being. The existence of this observatory suggested, however, that this room had once been above the surface. Closer examination of the structure revealed that this was indeed a building, not an excavated chamber. The only other doorways from the room were completely blocked, and careful measurements from the top of the cliff to the entry room and then to the observatory revealed that we were still more than 250 feet below the present ground level. A sobering reminder of the forgotten fury of Red Mountain. And of course, not too long after the events of this game, the fury of Red Mountain would be not so forgotten very rapidly and very violently. This discovery led us to focus our attentions downward, since we now knew approximately where the ancient surface lay. We could rule out many of the higher blocked passages. One wide passage, impressively flanked with carven pillars, particularly drew my interest. It ended in a massive rockfall, but we could see where looters had begun and abandoned a tunnel through this debris. With my team of diggers and Master Arm's magery to assist, I believed we could succeed where our predecessors had failed. I therefore set my team of Dark Elves to work on clearing the passage, relieved finally to be beginning the real exploration of Kemelzi. Soon, I hoped, my boots would be stirring up dust that had lain undisturbed since the dawn of time. With this exciting prospect before me, I may have driven my diggers a bit too hard. Tenpenny reported that they were beginning to grumble about the long days, and that some were talking of quitting, knowing from experience that nothing puts heart back into these dark elves like a taste of the lash. I had the ringleaders whipped, and the rest confined to the ruins, until they had finished clearing the passageway. Thanks Stendar for my foresight in requisitioning a few legionnaires from Saint Denis. They were sullen at first, but with the promise of an extra day's wages when they broke through, they soon set to work with a will. While these measures may sound harsh to my readers back in the comforts of civilization, let me assure you that there is no other way to get these people to stick to a task. The blockage was much worse than I had thought, and in the end, it took almost 2 weeks to clear the passage. The diggers were as excited as I was when their picks finally broke through the far end into emptiness, and we shared a round of the local liquor together, a foul concoction in truth, to show that all was forgiven. I could hardly restrain my eagerness as they enlarged the hole to allow entry into the chamber beyond. Would the passage lead to entire new levels of the ancient city, filled with artifacts left by the vanished dwarves? Or would it be only a dead end, some side passage leading nowhere? My excitement grew as I slid through the hole and crouched for a moment in the darkness beyond. From the echoing sounds of the stones rattling beneath my feet, I was in a large room, perhaps very large. I stood up carefully and unhooded my lantern. As the light flooded the chamber, I looked around in astonishment. Here were wonders beyond even my wildest dreams. As the light from my lamp filled the chamber beyond the rockfall, I looked around in astonishment. Everywhere was the warm glitter of dwarven alloys. I had found an untouched section of the ancient city. My heart pounding with excitement, I looked around me. The room was vast, the roof soaring up into darkness beyond the reach of my lamp, the far end lost in shadows with only a tantalizing glimmer hinting at treasures not yet revealed. Along each wall stood rows of mechanical men, intact except for one oddity. Their heads had been ritually removed and placed on the floor at their feet. This could mean only one thing. I had discovered the tomb of a great dwarven noble, maybe even a king. Burials of this type had been discovered before, most famously by Ransom's expedition in Hammerfell, but no completely intact tomb had ever been found, until now. But if this was truly a royal burial, where was the tomb? I stepped forward gingerly, the rows of headless bodies standing silently as they had for eons, their disembodied eyes seeming to watch me as I passed. I had heard wild tales of the curse of the dwarves, but had always laughed it off as superstition. But now, breathing the same air as the mysterious builders of this city, which had lain undisturbed since the cataclysm that spelled their doom, I felt a twinge of fear. There was some power here, I felt, something malevolent that resented my presence. I stopped for a moment and listened. All was silent. Except, it seemed I heard a faint hiss, regular as breathing. I fought down a sudden surge of panic. I was unarmed, not thinking of danger in my haste to explore past the blocked passage. Sweat dripped down my face as I scanned the gloom for any movement. The room was warm. I suddenly noticed, much warmer than the rest of the labyrinth thus far. Excitement returned. Could I have found a section of the city still connected to a functioning steam grid? Pipes ran along the walls, as in all sections of the city. I walked over and placed my hand on one. It was hot, almost too hot to touch. Now, I saw that in places where the ancient piping had corroded, small jets of steam were escaping. The sound I had heard. I laughed at my own credulity. I now advanced quickly to the far end of the room, giving a cheerful salute to the ranks of mechanical soldiers who had appeared so menacing only moments before. I smiled with triumph as the light swept back the darkness of centuries to reveal the giant effigy of a dwarven king, standing on a raised die, his metal hand clutching his rod of office. This was the prize indeed. I circled the die slowly, admiring the craftsmanship of the ancient dwarves. The Golden King stood 20 feet tall under a freestanding domed cupola. I don't know what that is. His long, unswept beard jutting forward proudly as his glittering metal eyes seemed to follow me. But my superstitious mood had passed, and I gazed benevolently on the old dwarven king. My king, as I had already begun to think of him. I stepped onto the die to get a better look at the sculpted armor. Suddenly, the eyes of the figure opened, and it raised a mailed fist to strike. I leaped to one side as the golem arm came crashing down, striking sparks from the steps where I had stood a moment before. With a hiss of steam and the whir of gears, the giant figure stepped ponderously out from under its canopy and strode towards me with frightening speed, its eyes tracking me as I scrambled backwards. I dodged behind a pillar as the fist whistled down again. I had dropped my lantern in the confusion, and now I crept into the darkness outside the pool of light, hoping to slip between the headless mechanisms and thus escape back to the safety of the passageway. Where had the monster gone? You would think that a 20-foot golden king, golden kind? Probably a typo. Golden king would be hard to miss, but he was nowhere to be seen. The guttering lamp only illuminated a small part of the room. He could be hiding anywhere in the gloom. I crawled faster. Without warning, the dim ranks of dwarven soldiers in front of me went flying as the monstrous guardian loomed before me. He had cut off my escape. As I dodged backwards, blow after blow whistled down as the implacable machine followed me relentlessly, driving me into the far corner of the room. At last, there was nowhere left to go. My back was to the wall. I glared up at my foe, determined to die on my feet. The huge fists lifted for one final blow. The room blazed with sudden light. Bolts of purple energy crackled across the metal carapace of the dwarven monster, and it halted, half turning to meet this new threat. Master Aram had come. I was about to raise a cheer when the giant figure turned back to me, unharmed by the lightning bolt hurled by Master Aram, determined to destroy this first intruder. I shouted out, "Steam, steam," as the giant raised his fist to crush me into the floor. There was a hiss and a gust of bitter cold as I looked up. The monster was now covered with a shell of ice, frozen in the very moment of dispatching me. Master Aram had understood. I leaned against the wall with relief. The ice cracked above me. The giant golden king stood before me, the shell of the ice falling away, his head swiveling towards me in triumph. Was there no stopping this dwarven monstrosity? But then the light faded from his eyes, and his arms dropped to his sides. The magical frost had worked, cooling its steam-driven energy. As Master Aram and the diggers crowded around me, congratulating me on my narrow escape, my thoughts drifted. I imagined my return to the Imperial City, and I knew that this would be my greatest triumph yet. How could I possibly top this find? Perhaps it was time to move on. Recovering the fabled Eye of Argonia, now that would be a coup. I smiled to myself, reveling in the glory of the moment, but already planning my next adventure. Oh, well, very good. Yeah. Ruins of Kemel's Eve, kind of a Elder Scrolls classic at this point, right? Good lord. Weird to think of an in-game book as being considered a classic, but it is, right? You get not only, of course, loads of insight into, like, dwarven everything, right? And the idea that they would be weak to cold, given their steam sort of, I don't know, machinations, the way in which they function on Steam. But you also get insights into, you know, this guy from the Imperial City being pretty shitty to his digging team, right? Sort of stealing the glory from Master Aram, who saved his hide, and having this sort of like egocentric take on all of it, right? Very cool. Very good stuff, right? One of the better ones, right? One of the better ones, I would say. And frankly, one of the lengthier ones. Holy hell. In truth, we actually did read it for that long. That's how long it is. And lest we forget, there's plenty more lengthy ones to read, right? For instance, a lot of the anthologies are quite long, like A Dance in Fire, biography of Baron Zaya, stuff like those. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they are pretty lengthy as well. Anyway, when next we return, holy shit, what even happened? We're not in a dwarven ruin at all. Probably a bit of a fascinating read for Elder Scrolls first timers in Oblivion, because of course in Cyrodiil there are no dwarven ruins. You get Ayleid ones instead, right? Dwarven ruins are mostly along the northerly coasts and northerly provinces of Tamriel, that being Morrowind, Skyrim, Hammerfell. I can't remember if High Rock has any, right? Does High Rock have any dwarven ruins? I have no idea. I don't think they do, right? I don't think High Rock has any. Maybe they do. Maybe they do. All right. Nonetheless, when next we return, I'll have found, or I've gone through a whole bunch of training, I guess, right? We'll have really jumped up our ability to cast destruction magic, all in the name of getting a really sweet and frankly more and more crucial enchant, right? Even if we don't use it all the time, it will be kind of a must-have against certain enemies.
You look like a shrewd businessman.
All right, until next time, please take care of each other.